You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive. Stiff arms to your jaw, we breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown, we taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we're talking about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. That's Tony. This is TG. And we got a little show for you. First off, let me apologize for putting a title up earlier. I see some people in the chat saying, hey, we want to hear about some transfer news and some rumors in the Woody. I screwed up, man. We scheduled this for tonight, so we had to move that to Friday. Tomorrow, we got a very big show for y'all again, so I can't do it then. But me and Mello come across some news inside the Woody, a little bit of inside info, if you may, and we'll be sharing it with y'all. Don't nobody freak out. It's nothing. It's all positive stuff. So
for sure.
But tonight, man, we're gonna do the Buckeye Boys Awards. It's something that we've always wanted to do. I think, TG, I'm going to bring you down. Your mic's pretty loud. It's something that we've wanted to do for a minute. And the goal is to get all Buckeye YouTube channels in on this and all of us vote together, because you know how the media gives awards out and all that. It's all political. It has nothing to do with like people. I don't know, man. I've never seen awards given out that I mean, occasionally I'll agree with one. You know, but it would just be nice to get the people that actually are in this stuff, way obsessed with it, to vote and cast real votes. So that would be the goal. One day, you never know. But for now, you guys are stuck with just our votes here. But Mello, how you doing today?
Man, I'm great. Just left my nephew's basketball game. My daughter had a call from a coach and then a text from a different coach. So, you know, I had to navigate her through that while at a freaking basketball game. So that was pretty awesome, pretty fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. Tony, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. Trying to heal every day.
Man. TG, what's going on over there? You all right?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Hey,
cool.
Y'all can hear me just fine, right?
Yep. We can hear you. Yep. So tonight we're going to bring on a special guest. He's won the Super Bowl 4, 5, 6 times. Can't remember. He's been the head football coach for several college teams. Was the #1 overall draft pick, and
Buckeye
also
legend.
Buckeye legend. Everybody knows who he is. Sean Schrock, how you doing tonight, bro? What you got going on over there,
thank God
Sean?
for that mask, Sean. You saving everybody's eyeballs tonight, man.
You hooked us up. That's the real award winner right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I know. Sean, are you on mute? No, you're not on mute. Now I know why he wanted his camera to work so bad
Yeah.
earlier. He's just dying to get that on
I
there.
like that hat, for sure.
So what I'm going to do tonight, because we got 5 people on, I'm going to pop off, go down below. You'll see me popping in and out throughout the show, but Mello, you can take us off. Tony designed everything here, man. Everybody give a big shout out to Curse Design Tony, man. He's a boss when it comes to that. I'm sure you can tell when he does the thumbnails and when I do the thumbnails. Normally when I do it, there just isn't one, right? So shout out Tony, but I'm going to go ahead and drop below. Tony, I know you got your hand in this, so you and Mello work together, take this thing over. Goodbye.
See ya.
So what's up, peeps? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready?
Yo.
Yeah.
How y'all want to start this? How you want to kick the first awards off? Tony,
Well, I think
since you designed everything, let's go ahead and you can start with the first award and introduce it to the people.
okay. Well, the first award, which is like one of the most important awards, I think, is the Best Leader Award. You know what I'm saying? And we all voted, came up with who we thought the best leader was. And
Hold on, before you tell anybody, chat, we need you to go ahead and tell us who you think was the best leader of the season. Hey, hold up, pop that back up. That was Tony. That he might get a vote if he could get back to that. That's the goal right there, Tony. We getting right back to that. We got something coming up for the game. I'm gonna need you to get back in shape. I'm gonna tell you off camera what it is.
All right.
We all going. We're gonna be in Ann Arbor repping.
Bet.
You look like an extra on The Sopranos.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, let us know in the chat who you think the best leader award should go to out of all the Buckeyes. But go ahead, Tony, take it away.
Well, yeah. So, we all just came up with this or whatever. And, I figured I want to hear who the people think, and who, kind of our thoughts here real quick on it and whatnot. So I think for me, it was pretty clear cut, what the choice was. And I think it was pretty well clear cut when we did the voting on who it was. I mean, the chat's pretty much got two different people coming up, Will Howard and Jack Sawyer. I think maybe I said Cody on one vote at one point in time, just like when we could pick multiple ones, but we decided to go with just one, you know what I'm saying, and give out a separate award later on for something else. So, we picked a bunch of categories, you know what I'm saying, best of and whatnot, and then we have a couple special awards, the Cujo and Mr. Buckeye, that, you know what I'm saying, we'll be giving out towards the end. So we got some fun categories and whatnot. So without further ado, is everybody ready to hear who the winner of the Best Leader Award is?
That's my drum roll, by the way.
Will
Howard.
And I believe that was unanimous, was it not?
Yeah, it was.
We all picked Will Howard. I mean, honestly, how can you not? For me, Will Howard embodies leadership. Without Will Howard, we do not win this natty. I know Scum fans, Team Up North fans, all you other fan bases that are a bunch of haters were saying how bad Will Howard was. He just led the nation in QBR, completion percentage, 6'4". It was verified by one of my sources who was in the league for a while that I grew up with, that he has hit 22 miles per hour. So all you haters saying he can't, he has, and they're fully aware. And that's why I have several bets on what round he's going to get drafted playing a premium position. So that's why I voted for him, especially when Seth went down and Josh Simmons went down, and how he held and gave the line confidence along with Donnie J. It's so obvious that he was the clear leader award. So, Sean, why'd you pick him? Let's just go around in the circle, go from Sean to TG to Tony, and give your reason for why you chose Will Howard as the leader.
He's a gamer, man. He's a natural born leader. If it wasn't for him, they don't win the national championship. If we'd had him last year, I think we would have ran back-to-back natties, honestly. I think that's what was missing from last year's. We did not have that guy that could rally the troops on the offense, that could get everybody going, and that's what Will did, man. Not only is he a leader by voice, but by action. I mean, that dude would sacrifice his body. He would do anything to win a freaking football game. And you could tell his teammates followed him in the battle every week.
TG?
I would say for me, the biggest reason was the exact same reason Sean had. It was something we were missing last year. I said it before. I think Kyle could have been a great quarterback had his dad not been such a douchebag and be so involved with his life. But because of that, he lacked a lot of leadership, a lot of maturity, a lot of that. Will Howard already had it, and he's already been through the battle. So that's why I chose him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to me, Will Howard embodies the epitome of what a Buckeye is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some dude from, Pennsylvania came in, played at Kansas State, comes in, and has been just a Buckeye through and through from the moment he stepped on campus, and everybody doubted him. You know what I'm saying? And he stood in the paint. He took everything. He, when he failed, he admitted it. But he was like the consistent glue for this team all year. Like, I know Jack Sawyer stepped up later on in the season, but like Will Howard was that consistent, whether it was his consistency with his passes, whether it's his consistency as just his demeanor, anything. Like, he was that consistent glue that this team needed. So,
and I believe this is Dev's whole reasoning. He said Will Howard's best leadership attribute is just forgetting. So, like, And I think that's a solid statement, and it's just a fact. When he would make a bad play, for instance, the pick six against Penn State, came right back, drove down the field, we scored a touchdown. So he did that. He showed that quality throughout the season over and over again. So I think that was a valid reason to have it, if that's your only reason.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's move on to the next award, which be
the next award is the most improved award. Now, there's a lot of people that have improved on this team and whatnot, but like I think this one might have also been unanimous, or pretty close to. So, but yeah, it's the most improved. I think it's there's one clear cut answer here. You know what I'm saying, or at least one clear cut room that I think stood tall and came out when we needed them. The most when they were lacking for most of the year. So
go ahead. We'll reverse it this time. I'll go last.
Okay. GG.
No, you go first, Tony.
Oh yeah, you gotta reveal it. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're gonna give your reasoning behind why. Is this, you got to let us know if it's unanimous, and if it wasn't who you picked, you guys tell us who you picked and why.
Yep. All right. So here we go. The most improved goes to G. Scott.
Okay. So Tony, what's your reasoning?
My reasoning is like the tight ends played so subpar for most of the year, and Keenan Bailey was a big question mark. And granted, it was a slow progression, it was a slow burn, but you could watch them game by game by game get better till, you know what I'm saying, we hit the Oregon game and the first pass is to G. Scott for 30 yards and he looks like a killer. You know what I'm saying? Their blocking got better. Will Kazmarek, even though he was out, he came back. You know what I'm saying? I think the only one that everybody felt underperformed is Jelani, and maybe that's just Jelani's process. But I think Keenan Bailey showed that he can develop these guys, and it gives me a lot of hope for the future for Nate Roberts and Brody Linden coming in. You know what I'm saying? And so I think G at the beginning of the year was a real big oh no, this guy. You know what I'm saying? And literally he stepped up when we needed him a lot of times when he fought for those yards in the national championship or whatever. And he fought and became what he should have been by the end of the season. So
TG, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. Now, I didn't pick him though.
Oh, okay. Who'd you pick?
I picked Cody Simon. Simon. Because I mean, it's pretty much for the same reason you guys picked G. Scott. He didn't start off the year fantastic, but guess how much better he got as the year went on? And look how much of a game wrecker he was. I mean, this dude all of a sudden just became the best linebacker in the Ryan Day era and one of the best linebackers we've had since James Arnett and AJ Hawk. Come on, man. That's why I picked Cody, especially going back from where he was in the beginning of his tenure here at Ohio State. Because remember, he wasn't great his first year here, and honestly, the last 3 years, I would say, he hasn't been great. Now, a lot of that's due to injury. So that's why I picked Cody, but I was really close to picking G. Scott too, because I was I was struggling between them two.
Yep. Welcome, Dev. Give your choice.
Yeah, I just wanted to pop in just because I had a different pick. I picked Sonny Styles, man. I think I picked him because I had such high expectations right off the bat. I never really realized how hard it was to go from safety to linebacker. I've never played football, so I just automatically assumed he was going to come in and be, James Laurinaitis at linebacker, but he wasn't that, right? But I just think he developed as a linebacker throughout the year. James Laurinaitis did a heck of a job, and you saw him improve throughout the year, and he played some of his best football in the playoffs. But everybody brought up so far 100% is deserving of this. You could say this about a lot. I mean, Donovan Jackson is one that's just golly, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this was a hard one, but G. Scott won out. Well deserving of this award, but that's all I got.
Yes, sir.
I'll pop back on for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dev.
So, Sean, who'd you pick and why?
I picked G. Scott. I thought from where he was last year, at the end of last year, how bad he was playing. And, I mean, each week he got better and better. I mean, the whole tight end room did. I mean, so did the linebackers, but the reason I didn't pick Cody Simon is last year, I thought he should have been starting over Steele Chambers and Eichelberg. I thought he played better than both those guys did last year.
Yeah.
and he didn't play because of seniority. So, I mean, at least that's the way I feel. But I thought G. Scott, he definitely showed me something this year. I mean, he did get a heck of a lot better than what he started.
So for me, I was gonna originally pick Sonny, and then I had to think about this. I was gonna pick Sonny for the same reasons Devin did. Mainly, he moved from safety. He's been a safety his entire life. He hasn't ever played linebacker. He started off really slow. I remember how frustrated Tony used to get on here, and I would have to calm people off a ledge during the games that were texting my phones, just freaking out. And I'm like, Sonny's a freak show. He has to learn. Like, the movement at linebacker is completely different than safety. So I was going to go to Sonny, and I'm not mad at anybody that picked Sonny, to be honest with you. The reason I couldn't pick Cody is because he's a Jersey boy, and he did exactly what I expected him to do. And just like Sean said, I thought he was the best linebacker on the team last year. I think if he played in the Team Up North game, we win that game last year, honestly. So I couldn't pick him because he did exactly what I expected him to do, and he took it to another level. I picked G. Scott because G came in as a wide receiver. It took him until this time, his fourth year, and just to get playing time. He was too small. He couldn't block in the beginning of the season. He couldn't block the previous seasons. He couldn't even really run routes elite as a tight end that you would want before. This season, as it progressed, he got a lot better at blocking, and he was easily the best catching tight end. Now, in Jelani, I know people were disappointed with him, but I mean, he's a young tight end. I think Jelani's only thing that he needed to improve on, that I expect him to improve on, and I got it to his cousin because his cousin goes to the gym with me, and I told him he needs to be able to block, period. He needs to put some strength on with Coach Mick and block, because he's going to be a big key to running this back, him and Max Clare. So I think we're going to have the best tight end room. And that's the reason I picked G, because I feel like he made the most progress over 4 years. He made the most growth from where he started to where he ended up. And this season, I didn't think he was an NFL player. By the end of the season, I know he's an NFL player. So that's why I picked G. So let's see what some other people are saying. Buckeye Chuck is saying Jelani underachieved but showed flashes.
To be quite honest about Jelani, I would say that it's not like he got the proper development. So it's going to take him a little bit. I would say this year he developed as a blocker for sure. It's all about developing the pass catching. So if he develops that, I think it'd be fine.
So the funny thing is he's an elite pass catcher. He really is. He wasn't blocking that well in the beginning. That's why he wasn't getting on the film. He was blocking the wrong people. He was missing assignments. And then he wasn't finishing his blocks. Towards the end of the season, yes, he started doing that better. But I don't think it was so much catching, even though he bobbled that ball that one time. And I think that's a chemistry thing that you have with your quarterback from running routes on air all the time. So he might not have been getting those reps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
down here,
that's what I mean.
Wasn't how they used him in high school in Georgia. You wouldn't have thought he was a tight end. He was a wide receiver, basically. And he was a 6'7" wide receiver, just destroying everybody.
Just Kyle Pitts in it?
Yeah, he was nasty. He was
except
ridiculous.
much bigger than Kyle Pitts.
Way bigger. Way bigger. Really? So, Tony, what's the next award we got going on?
The next award is the best play of the regular season.
Ooh, I like this one. This is going to get a little spicy. I think we all probably had something different, and this might have won by one or two people.
Yeah, right? I can't remember. I know I had something different than what was chosen and whatnot. So I mean, there had to be two of us that landed on the same thing, but I remember it being kind of a wild vote. So because there's a lot of good plays this season and whatnot. What does the chat think? I'd like to hear what the chat thinks.
Yeah, chat. Let's bring up the chat first.
Yeah.
Best play of the season, chat. Punt return by Caleb Downs. That's a good one. That is a great one. First in 10 years. JJ's one-handed catch against MSU. Which one? The touchdown or the one where he was double teamed? Lucia, because he had two back-to-back. Iggy's interception. Woo! That's fire.
That was my pick.
I thought
hold on, we're not giving out our picks. We're just we're talking to chat. Don't give out your pick yet. Yeah. Caleb Downs, 79-yard TD punt return.
Yep.
Iggy play or Downs, the JJ one-handed catch against Iowa. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
The JJ one-handed catch against Iowa. Any goal line stands? There's like a football aquarium of them. Double team, one-handed catch by Lucia.
Well,
Okay, so without further ado, let's see what we came up with here.
all right, and the winner is the Iggy interception, the IMG
Yes.
interception. I call it the
wow.
Iggy. My God.
Yeah, so I'll start this one off, and then we'll go Sean, TG, and then Tony.
Yep.
So basically, I picked that one actually, and the reason it was between that, the Jack Sawyer strip sack, and Caleb Downs punt return for me, and the reasons being is Caleb Downs punt return first in 10 years, just the fact that it was 10 years, and Caleb Downs is like the guy, you know what I'm saying? So like that was why I was leaning that way at first. Then I decided, no, that strip sack, what it meant to Buckeye Nation as a whole, what it meant to the history of this football program. It doesn't get any bigger than that, right? And then I had to go, and I was like, but that Davidson Igbinosin interception probably won us that game, and it was the most difficult play of the season. How he intercepted it, falling out of bounds, getting his feet in bounds. It was ridiculous. So
And it was right
that's
after one
why,
of his
especially
PI
from a
calls.
guy that always gets PI.
It was right.
So,
He had
like,
a PI right before that.
Yeah.
Literally
So for
right before
me,
that.
it was I wouldn't say it was a no-brainer, but it won for me. Sean, what was your take?
Mine was Iggy. I think that play turned that game over big time for us. I mean, like you said, basically we won us the game. Big momentum shift. The reason I didn't pick Jack is because I thought we were picking a play for the regular season and went for the postseason.
Yeah, it got a bit confusing.
That's
sometimes.
why I chose the Iggy play, because I thought it was, regular
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
The
Yep.
Caleb Downs one, I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a very close second to me. But we're already up in that game. That really just turned the tide of that game when Iggy did that, because it was right in the in the end zone. Penn State could have really took the lead on us, and we turned it around. So
Yeah, I agree.
Dad, did you have Iggy, or did you have someone different? If you had someone different pop up.
No, I had the Iggy play just because of what that play meant during the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the one-handed catches, the goal line stands, all the other things that happened, they were absolutely amazing. But I think that Iggy interception was like crucial for that regular season game. Like, we needed it big time. I mean, they were about to score. You know what I mean? Going to halftime like that would not been fun. So.
No.
So I asked the chat the next question a little too early. I wanted their answers pulled up so you guys had time to look. I won't ask it as early next time, but yeah.
It's all good.
Do your thing.
The best play of the
It's TG's
postseason.
turn.
Yeah, sorry, TG, go ahead.
You're good. Oh, TG, I think
froze?
she got frozen in time. All right, Tony, go ahead.
In picking this, I meant to pick the JJ one-handed catch against Iowa. Whatever. I wrote down a different Jeremiah catch because I had a lot going on. When I just looked back at my answers, I was like, that's completely wrong. Okay. So, but yeah, that's what I meant was his one-handed catch against Iowa where he mugged the dude. Granted, it was like not like the most earth-shattering time to have that happen, but like that was amazing, dude. Like, you don't see stuff like that. Like, literally, he just grabbed a grown man and just did that, and then caught the ball with one hand and just came down and was like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
So, it was pretty amazing. But the Iggy one was very important, and it's probably that or the Caleb Downs one. I think is probably what we came up to.
Okay.
Yep.
So what were you asking the chat for on the next one?
Well, the next award that was voted for and given out here on Buckeye Boys is the best play in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I mean, here's the chat, man. They're all, everybody is the scoop and score. That's
so
what
safe to say that's a unanimous all the way around from
pretty
the chat
much
to all of us.
Steely got a little wild. The screen pass by Texas was also huge. You know what I'm saying?
He messed the unanimous up.
But he answered Jack Sawyer first.
Okay.
So he gave two answers, but his first one was back. TG said she's going to hop back on once she fixes it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, we can pull up what we voted on. This should be a real quick one. Everybody knows the importance of this play.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, the winners, the Captain Jack Sawyer strip sack, man. I mean, my Lord, I was at that game, and let me tell you something. That was, I mean, even sitting here thinking about it, the energy in that place was absolutely off the chain. I mean, they were about to score. I mean, you guys remember the story about over the headsets from the Ohio State staff. One of the staff members got on there and said, "Well, that was fast." Well, Jim Knowles got back on and said, "They haven't scored yet." Yeah. So, I mean, that was wild, bro. Think about that entire, just that entire, all four of those plays. We could choose this. I mean, the Caleb Downs and Ransom sniffing out that play, and then, dude, it was just phenomenal.
Stuff up the middle for the run.
Yeah.
See, that's what I wanted to ask you. But you already answered it. I was going to ask you what was the crowd and the energy in there like. What after that strip sack, was everyone going crazy? I know there was a lot of half.
Yeah, I got soaked with beer and drinks and popcorn went everywhere. I saw a thing of nachos fly by. Like, it got wild, dude, wild. And the Texas fan that was beside me, who was literally throwing punches at people, it got wild. Boy, people were in his face, 2 inches from his face, just screaming. I remember after that play, there were some girls sitting behind me. They tapped me on the shoulder. They said something to me, and I went to say something to them. I couldn't talk. Nothing was coming out. Like, I was trying to, but I was just screaming so loud that my vocal cords were done in that moment. I couldn't even talk. It was wild.
I screamed so hard when that happened. Like, was screaming just in the house by myself, screaming as hard as I could. I passed out and woke up, and he was in the end zone. I was like, "What?" I swear to God, like, that's how hard I was yelling, dude.
The funny thing is, I know you're probably not trolling it. You're probably being 100% honest.
Oh, it's definitely true.
Exactly what happened. And I woke up and I was bawling my eyes out, and literally, like, I sent a picture to everybody, like, of me just crying, like my kids just died. Like, it was ridiculous.
Man, I wish, would somebody fill that picture up, please? we gotta show the chat the text message. Tony, you cool with that? No, the crying the group chat.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, is it in there? In our group chat? You sent it in ours, Tony?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, though. Let me.
We'll move on to the next one while Tony looks for it. So the next one, we just wanted to give a shout out. We understand this one didn't need voted for. I already know everybody's answer to this. Best quarterback. Okay, we don't need to vote for it. Everybody knows who that is. We're not going to pick it. We just wanted to shout him out because just an absolute stud, man. I wanted to pop on when we were talking about the first award that we gave out, the Best Leader Award, and that's exactly what he was this year, man. Just an absolute leader. He showed the team that it's okay to make mistakes. Denzel Burke, it's okay to blow coverage in the Oregon game. Keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? That's just Will Howard led by his play, the energy that he brought to the field. It was just completely different from last year, man. Just not even close from Will Howard to McCord. I'm sorry, everybody, but Will Howard goes down as having the best quarterback season of all time in Ohio State history, in my book. I mean, I'm sorry for those of you that disagree, but are you kidding me? Like, dude, he broke records. He won a natty. You guys know what he did. So it's really hard to argue against Will Howard is the best Ohio State quarterback. That season he had was the best out of all seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback. It's really hard. I mean, I know we got Cardell Jones, the Big Ten, record TD passes and all that, but dude, look what happened this year, man. Look what he did, dude. Especially coming in as a transfer. Like, he had to come in brand new. He had to lose a black stripe. Golly, dude.
But they just played a bunch of mid-level SEC teams, guys. That's what I was told today.
That's true. That is a valid point. The SEC was trash. They're going to be trash again next year. We'll let them hype you up. Like the SEC, I live in SEC country. I think the Natty's coming out the big again.
Michigan fans try to tell me their run last year was more impressive because we played a bunch of weak teams.
What?
Yeah,
Never
they were
mind. I'm
trying
not
to tell
even
me
gonna
that
get into
Alabama and Washington last year was much tougher than the teams we had to face this year.
I gotta address this. Lucia, can you throw Lucia's back up there real quick?
This one or this one?
That one. So Lucia says Fields was always my favorite prior to this year, but Will passed. He's my all-time favorite. So Lucia, I'm in the same boat with you. JF1 was my favorite quarterback in Ohio State history. But what Will did with this team against these circumstances, for a 12-team playoff, beating this many top 10 teams in one season, which never has been done before, it has, for me, put Will Howard above him, even though JF1 did it for 2 seasons here. But he also won a natty here. So, I mean, how he ended it, how he carried himself, he embodied everything that's great with this program and with Ryan Day and how he's taking his program forward. So, salute to Will Howard, salute to Ryan Day, salute to all the players and
Hey,
all the
guys.
fans out there.
I want to show you something that I just got.
Oh, that's fire, bro. I'm so jealous. How much you want for it? I'm just joking. Hey, real fast, couple announcements, guys. Don't forget hit the like button, please. Get in the chat like you are. If you're watching the show and you're not in the chat, join the chat, man. Very welcoming here.
Please.
Steely's not gonna kill you. Just be nice. He's a good dude. I promise he is. It just gets intense sometimes. If you're a Blue fan, I would
Just
second.
don't tell him.
I would, don't say it.
Just
in
keep it to
there.
yourself.
No, we love Steely
Okay.
here on this channel. But do a favor for me and share this feed on your Twitter real quick, your Instagram, your Facebook. And just a reminder, I don't want to be that dude, but super chats are open. We want to make this channel an absolute beautiful experience for everybody. And we want to keep giving to the people that the homeless vets and the Teen Challenge organization. I feel like I don't say that enough because I don't want to sound like this dude that's begging for money. We are not doing that here. We don't do this for money. Everybody on this channel, we got our own jobs. We don't rely on this to pay bills. But if you got it, it'd be phenomenal, man. We love giving and helping on this channel, dude. Somebody paid it forward to me when I was in need of help, and that's what I do now. That's what we all do on this channel. So just remember that, man. Super chats are open. And one last thing. We do, like I said, we do this show for you, and we want to vote on awards that you guys want to see voted on. I saw a really good suggestion. We should have voted on Will Howard's best, messiest moment. That would have been very entertaining and very cool to go back through. So, hey, if you got ideas for next year, put them in there. I promise you, if they're good, we're going to vote on them. Like, we want this to be a different award show than ones that you watch all the time on all these other channels, all right? So if you know a good one, put it in the chat, and we'll add her to the list.
And guys, if you have any suggestions for a show that you guys would like to see or any ideas, let us know. I mean,
We're all very accessible and very open to suggestions.
100%. I just spilled my drink. I'm
Good
bad.
job. All right.
I'm sure everybody wants us to get JJ Smith on here, but within reason, guys, within reason.
I do know his family.
Do you?
His cousin is that I just found out. Her husband is my best friend down here, so I'm gonna work it, but that's gonna be a miracle. But I'm
the
definitely
entire South. What is going on?
I'm definitely gonna push to get Jelani on here though.
For sure.
For sure.
That would be dope.
Thanks,
Shout out
Stars.
to When Stars Align. Thank you for the 1999. We appreciate you.
Wow.
You're amazing. You're awesome.
And our boy Russ.
We love you, brother. We appreciate you as well, brother. Thanks for the $4.99.
Absolutely.
Russ is on here every night. Every podcast I'm on, I always see Russ. Man, good dude. Just like
we appreciate
Tyler.
that, man. This is all going to good causes for real. Like Devin went to all 3 games. He doesn't like. We don't need the money.
Right.
Lucia Buck, thanks for the $10 in honor of my father who was a vet. Salute. I appreciate your dad.
All right.
Hey, by the way, some real quick news for those of you guys that joined us for our show where we got donations for the Tennessee show for Clark. That's correct. We got the money. Finally came through. We got it to figure out how to let YouTube have the money. We got it. Just waiting on a response from them to send it over. We raised a total of $700 to send over to Clark, man, here on Buckeye Boys. So that's a big deal, man. Everybody in the chat who was here that night and gave. I know Donald and Karen Rochbook, they went above and beyond. A lot of other people did. So I appreciate tech. Man, that's what this world's about. Can you imagine a world where everybody just like cared for one another and helped people out when they were in need, you know, because if it wasn't for people around me that helped me out, I would literally be dead. And I'm pretty sure if you've gone through a tough time in life, you can think about somebody that helped you out in that moment. So paying it forward, man, that's what this life is
to
about.
the chat. You guys made it happen. Seriously, that
No
kid,
doubt.
that's something special for a family that really, really needed it. Like that kid and his family will never forget that for the rest of their existence. And they're not even Buckeye fans. Like you guys have a huge heart. Don't ever let anybody disrespect Buckeye Nation because we are great and a tremendous fan base. We do have big heart. Shout out to Mark for the $50. I appreciate you.
Man,
My vote goes to the Buckeye Boys. Keep up the good work.
Mark P.
Thank you so much, Mark. Man,
P's always doing it, man.
Yeah, Mark P's
And
awesome.
Donald.
Yeah. And speaking of Donald and Karen, thank you for the $20. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. 2024 Natty Champs, baby. And it's about to be 2025 as well. We're going back to back.
Devin's already calling Natty Lock for 25. So
am I. I'm right
already.
there.
I've been calling it for over a year now. I always put 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
Natty Lock, man. Natty Lock.
Since August. Easily.
Let's move to the next one. I don't know where we're at. So
do you guys want to have a quick laugh? Because I found the text messages and the picture.
Oh yeah, throw that up there. Look at this. Hold on.
Please.
Before he sends it, this is what he sent to us in the group chat while we're all screaming and excited. Devin's in the stadium partying like a rock star that he is. And this is what he sends to us.
So look, I don't know if I can put the one text where I passed out is a bit explicit, so we might want to leave that one.
Nah, don't no explicit.
Okay.
The
But
crying
this
one.
next one is this is what popped up with the picture. I cried from that point on until well after the game, and it was this.
Man, I wish we could do a little close up. So he had real tears in there, man.
Oh, dude, listen, I was real upset. Like, I wasn't upset. I was real happy, but like, I'm telling you, like when I came to after like passing out and he was in the end zone, like it was just waterworks, dude. Just I couldn't. And I'm sitting by myself in my house texting you guys, like, like just. I'm telling you, like somebody in my family just died. It was ridiculous.
hey, before I forget, I don't know if we shouted them out yet. Donald and Karen Rochbook, thank you so much for the $20. Love you guys. Keep up the great. Did you already say that, Mello?
Yep. We were on
I'm tripping, dude.
Blitz.
Oh, Buckeye Blitz. That's what it was. Buckeye Blitz. Thank you so much for the $1.99. Salute.
Give a shout out to Deetra Sanchez.
Yes,
Mama
Mama
Sanchez
D
now?
in the house. We
Mhm.
got royalty in the house. Everybody treat Mama D nicely and respectfully, because if you don't, you getting tossed out the club early, not late.
Sure.
And
Oh, yeah,
Gold
you ain't just
Jacket
getting-
Goods is in the house.
You ain't just getting tossed out. Yeah.
Look at
So-
Lacey.
Hey, we're passionate. Buckeye
Yeah.
fans, I'll tell you this, very, very passionate. We got to learn to control that passion sometimes. I'm talking to myself here. I lose it from time to time. But on to the next Buckeye Boys Award. Where
That's a
are
sucker
we?
statement, by the way.
This one I'm pretty
Time to
sure was a
time, not
unanimous
time
one,
to
too.
time.
Is best wide receiver.
Let's
All
get
right,
it.
chat. Let's see these ones.
Yeah.
Best wide receiver. I wonder who we're gonna pick. To be honest with you, it is it's
We
not a
got
hard.
three.
It's
we got,
not.
we
It's
got
not a
three
hard vote.
solid choices though.
I know,
Mac is
but
the leading catcher receiver all time in history.
True.
So everybody drop who you think the best wide receiver on the team was this year.
you can't, Karis. I love
You can only
you,
pick
right?
one.
But you can't do that. I know it's hard. We had to do the same thing.
Right.
I couldn't choose two. I wanted to because I love E. I love Carnell. I love Brandon Ennis.
We all wrote
I
down
like
multiple
Bryson
things for
Rodgers.
each
I think
answer.
he's the best route runner in the country.
Yeah, but shoot, man. Everybody. All right, we got to vote for Mech. Everybody.
I don't know.
Okay.
JJ was okay this year, you know.
I mean, listen,
He did okay,
Yeah, look.
Chad.
JJ did okay.
What freshman does anything at Ohio State anyway? All right, you ready? Here we go. Bamski.
Of course.
Optimus Prime.
Optimus, you see that, right? It's
I threw that in
Optimus
there.
Prime over here, baby.
Hey, Devin, I really loved how you nicknamed him Optimus Prime. You know, Devin.
on,
knows-
no.
Yeah, no, I
Nobody's
know.
thinking
Yeah,
about
I've been
Prime for
thinking
that
about
one.
that. I texted Miller one day and I said, hey, we should name JJ Optimus Prime. And he said, Devin, you talk all the time. You come up with ideas all the time. Can I have this one? I said, dude, you're my brother. I'll never tell anybody.
Never.
I said, I'll never tell anybody. So I promise, I keep that promise to this day. I'll never tell anybody I came up with it first,
Never.
ever.
Oh my goodness, man!
That's a lie, everybody. Total lie.
It's all good. So TP, let's start with you because you've been MIA for a while. So why'd you pick Optimus Prime? Because I know you picked him. It was unanimous over here.
Of course. Obviously, because he's been the best receiver. Without him, let's be honest, Marvin leaves. We replace him with a receiver that is better than him already as a freshman. Like, what freshman have we seen do this?
None.
Not one. So
Anywhere.
it was obvious. Anywhere. At any point. I mean, you can even look at Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson. You can look at countless others. None of them had the freshman season this dude did. So it was so obvious. And he was instantly the best receiver from jump. We rarely say that about any freshman receiver, even at Ohio State. Last guy we said that about, Chris Carter.
Yep, the GOAT.
Nah,
The GOAT.
now.
Optimus clearing Chris Carter.
I said so
Yeah,
now.
that's the point though.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we haven't seen anybody like this since Chris Carter, and he's way better than Chris Carter. And I love Chris, and even though I never got to grow up watching him play, I know how good he is. So it was just obvious at this point.
Dude, and Chris did that when they barely threw the ball too. I mean, imagine if Chris would have played, you know, the stats he would have had if he would have had, you know, the chance.
So
yeah.
Devin, why'd you pick Optimus?
Just real fast to Sean's statement. Just imagine if our wide receiver coach became the offensive coordinator. Just freaking imagine, dude. Imagine how many catches JJ would have then.
Right.
That'd be wild, dude. That'd be pretty cool, man.
Imagine
Anyway.
if our wide receiver coach became the dude with the first initial is C and his second initial is C, and his name goes by Chris Carter from South Florida that has inroads
Wide
already down there.
receiver coach, yeah. I would love that. I hope it will happen, but I don't know if it will.
Yeah.
So Dev, why'd you pick Optimus Prime?
Because the dude's a freshman, and what he did this year, you know, the answer's pretty obvious. You could go a lot of different ways, but for him to come in and, number one, learn the playbook like he did to be able to get on the field, I think that's a little bit of an understatement. We all look at his physical attributes that he had, but to be that mentally mature and mentally sharp to come in and learn, you know, Ryan Day and Chip Kelly and Brian Hartline's passing scheme and play schemes and blocking as a wide receiver, that says a lot about you right there. You know, we heard every player when they asked, you know, about the main thing that they loved about JJ, it was always his mentality. We all know he's 6'4", 225 pounds, runs a 4.3 and 4.4, whatever. No, I'll tell you this, nobody catches him from behind, right?
Right.
Jokers. But anyway,
Right.
dude's a freshman. I mean, Mecca, it's just, he would be the answer. But JJ, I mean, there's no way around it. It's JJ.
Yep.
Totally.
Again, yeah, like he's a freshman. Like the hype for him was so over the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like from the moment he committed, and like Ryan Day about had a heart attack. Like literally, just like leading up to the season was just like an insane amount of hype that like even like unheard of amount of hype. And it was like, God, I hope this kid really delivers. And I think he came and even above and beyond delivered. Like, I mean, you have the all-time catch leader and stuff or whatever, who's supposed to be your number one. And I don't think anybody thinks that Emeka ended the season as wide receiver one. You know what I'm saying? Like JJ, like as a freshman, came in and took over that spot over the leading receiver in Ohio State history. Like that's ridiculous. And like, there's no other choice than that.
Sure.
Yeah, we didn't throw it to Mech on 3rd and 11.
No.
Anyway,
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm the oldest on this podcast, so I've
Grant.
seen Galloway, I saw Carter, Terry Glenn, which was he won the Blishnikov. David Boston was another great one. I mean, Terry McLaurin. They can't compare to him. The bro just destroyed everybody, man. I mean, he's a freak. One thing I love about him is he's not about partying. He's not about chasing the girls. He's about business. He's about playing ball. And that's why he's as good as he is, man. And that's why he's going to be the best there ever was.
So do you remember watching him in person? What was your feelings when you saw him? Because I know you went to a couple of games in the shoe. What was your thoughts?
Watching him play?
Yeah.
There was a couple times, even when he wasn't getting the ball, that he was tearing people. I mean, just juking secondaries. Guys out. I mean, people's jocks were all over the field, man. The dude, I've never seen anything like him. I mean, the closest thing I could compare, the way he ran routes is kind of the precise, like Jerry Rice used to run them. Well, he's much bigger than what Jerry Rice is. I mean, he has the grace of Jerry Rice with the size of Calvin Johnson. I mean, it's just freakish.
That double move he put on the Oregon safety in the Oregon game after he was already like public enemy number one to them and left that kid in the dust, like was so open, like he was ridiculous.
And he's doing this at 18, guys. 18 years old. I mean,
so to be honest with you,
it's bonkers, man.
I've been following JJ for a few years, just being down here. You hear about him living in the South. The day that I came up with Optimus Prime was after they played Quincy Porter's team, Bergen Catholic, the best team in New Jersey. You saw the interview yesterday where I said no one could beat that Grayson team, and then Bergen Catholic and Taiwan Malone not only beat that number one Grayson team in the nation, they thumped them by almost 20. Oof. So this is the team that they played down in Chaminade. They played Quincy Porter's Bergen Catholic team. This was JJ's stats by the third quarter. He didn't play the fourth quarter. He played halfway of the third, and that was the end of his night. 17 receptions, 321 yards, averaged 19 yards per catch. His longest was a 73-yarder, and he had 3 touchdowns, all before midway of the third quarter. And that's all right. This dude is different. And Bergen Catholic was ranked in the top 10. So he absolutely shredded them. And then I watched a lot of his other games. Every game that was on ESPN, I watched it. All the games that were on YouTube, I watched it. The kid was different. He was making those one-handed catch that he scored a touchdown on after against Michigan State. He did that in high school. And then the guy, and it was on ESPN, and the photographer was like, "Dag, you really him?" And he said, "You already know." That's exactly what he said to him. 17-year-old said, "You already know." And then they interviewed the coaches, and everybody was like, "Dude, he could go to the NFL right now if there wasn't any rules." And he would start for just about every team in the NFL at 17 years old. So when he came to campus, I knew from day one he was going to be wide receiver one. And I remember telling people by the time October 12th is finished, people are going to realize he's wide receiver one in the entire nation, not just at Ohio State. And I think there's without a doubt that he is the best freshman wide receiver we ever seen in college football history. 6'4", 225, 4'3", 40, 38-inch vert. He still has 2 more years to go. So imagine what kind of numbers he's going to be putting up. Over 11-foot broad jump. And that was when he was 18, when he first got here, when he first got tested. So, I mean, dude is a freak show. He could run the entire route tree. He has hands that are ridiculous. He wears 3X gloves. That's why he catches the ball like that. And I'm passionate because him and Caleb Downs, my 2 favorite players on the team. Like, straight up, I'm just be honest with you. That it just is what it is. And, I mean, Optimus, enjoy the show. Enjoy it, for real.
We could literally have an entire podcast just talking about Jeremiah Smith. He's a once-in-a-lifetime person. But did everybody give their take on the wide receiver? Did I miss anybody?
Yep.
All right, chat. Next one. I'm intrigued to see what the chat chooses here. Give us your best running back of the season. We'll talk about that because you know who we had. We had 2, of the best running backs in the nation. It's going to be we're going to be hard pressed to see a duo like that again at Ohio State. This is Ohio State, so it can happen, or anywhere. But I'm gonna be honest. My take real fast. At first, Quinshon Judkins did not impress me. Right? I was like, dang man, I'm not really seeing anything special, right? Very stupid, ignorant, football fan at that point in time, because then it seems like he turned it on, man. And in the playoffs, the dude was an absolute wrecking ball. And now I understand why he led the nation last year in yards after contact. If he would have been the only running back on this team, he would have done it again this year. The dude was an absolute freak show in the playoffs, just could not be tackled. So much for the locker room cancer. What an absolute joke there, because that's all we heard about,
Right.
is, oh, they had to get rid of him because he's a locker room cancer. Yeah, right, dude. The dude made like all academic, whatever, was out in the community, donating, loved Jesus, talked about that as well, talked about his brothers, was unselfish. I mean, dude, he went from being the go-to running back, the best player on the team, to coming to Ohio State, where he's probably 7th on the list in terms of player on the team.
Right.
So
He was the
real,
best
and then,
back in the
and then
SEC league.
and then you got Travion Henderson, who's a freak show as well, man. So the really, really, really tough vote for me. I really wanted to give it to both of them, but let's see
Who
what
did you
the
end
chat.
up giving it to?
What was
So
it?
we got here's the chat. They got
Okay.
Trey, Henderson, no doubt. Trey. Maybe I guess it wasn't that hard. I thought it was a really hard. I thought it was
that
hard.
was a hard one, bro.
It was hard for me.
Nah,
It was.
That was a hard one.
Well, without further ado, Tony, who's the winner?
Winner is, of course, it's Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eh,
So, Mello, what's your take?
I picked Trey. The reason I picked Trey, I thought it was going to be Q. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched, so when Q decided, he announced that night that the team up north cheated their way to a natty, I just went back and I was like, let me watch him play against UGA, because I don't remember what he looked like, And I watched it and I was like, oh, he's coming in. He's RB1. Then I talked to some people that are beat writers. I went out to eat with a few of them when they came down to Atlanta, and they were saying the same thing. Like, Q, he just runs hard. He runs through people. He does not go down on first contact. And everybody was used to Trey falling on first contact, the combination of the turf and him having that broken bone in his foot. So it was like we were questioning his vision, remember? So like I thought it was going to be Q. By the end of the season, it was clearly Trey. Trey could catch the ball a little bit better, run routes. When he hit that cornerback with that filthy route, I remember talking to you, Dad, right after it happened. I think either I called you or I texted. Normally, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It was such a dirty route. I'm a sucker for a clean route. I was like, though, he could be a wide receiver. And then what put it over the top was the play when we went to the Rose Bowl, and he took off up the right sideline and was just gone. And the safety had an angle pursuit on him. Like, that safety should have caught him.
Hold on. What did the announcer say again? The announcer said something epic. He said, "Oh, and the what did he say? Does somebody in the chat remember? It's been replayed over and over again as Trey was running." He said,
a Crimson Rush.
"And the bad news continues for Oregon," or something like that. No, the
McAfee, I think you're talking about, but I don't remember what he said either.
Yeah,
but he did say something crazy.
Yeah, I forget.
But
what it was.
like
It was cool,
after
though.
that game, it was just like, wow. Even though I do feel like Q should have been the most valuable player on offense in the Natty. He scored. He had a hat trick of touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. TG, what's your take?
Oh, I chose Trey as well, but it was hard for me too between Trey and Quinshawn, because I'm like, man, Quinshawn was a freaking dude. The way he ran through people, especially I remember the Northwestern game where he threw a linebacker on the ground that went right at him. I'm like, you should have seen my face when I'm watching Quinn run through these people. It'd be just like, dude, what are you on? What are you on? I would love to know, for you to be this strong, for you to be running through people like this. But Trey Henderson was clearly the one, because he was the most valuable down the stretch. He made big play after big play after big play when it was needed. But it's not like Travion always went down on first contact. That dude was hard to tackle too.
Yeah.
But his home run ability, his ability to catch balls out of the backfield, Quinshawn could do that too. But it's like with Trey, you could tell, like Melo said, he could be a wide receiver. Like, this dude's so versatile, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. Tony, your take?
I think it was pretty clear cut Trey, especially by the end of the season. But Like Quinshon did have like I watched him at Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? Because I loved the way he runs just like a bulldozer. Like, and I think he made Trey better too. I think he made Trey run harder this year. But like the one thing about Quinshon is like, dude, when he stiff arms a man, like he takes a whole man and deads him, and then bounces him like a basketball off the turf. Like what? It's a grown man, sir. Like, that man went down like a sniper shot him, and you're dribbling him like a basketball. Jesus. Like,
Dude, that is a really cool stat, Bootzilla. If I didn't know that, Trey's first catch of his career went for 70 yards against Minnesota. His last catch of his career went for 75 yards. Wow,
and
that's really really cool. Sean, let's get your take.
I picked Q.
Okay.
I think what really won me over was the national championship game when he had the hat trick. There was times when the blocking was really horrible, and if he didn't run so hard, he wouldn't have got positive yardage. I think, honestly, it was, neck and neck because I love Trey and I loved what Trey did. But I think, honestly, Trey doesn't have the season he had this year if Q doesn't come, because Q took a lot of those carries away from Trey and made him healthier.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, the last few years, Trey was beat up a lot because we didn't really have anybody else to give the ball to. So,
yeah.
I mean, both of them helped each other out, and I love both guys, and I hate to see either one of them go.
Yeah,
but
that's a really underrated thing people don't think about is keeping our running backs fresh. But we're going to move on to the next one, chat. This was really hard for me not to split this up to defensive backs and safeties because of the backfield that we had, but we just went with one. We just went with defensive back. So chat, let me know. That includes safeties for everybody, just so you know, right? So you got Denzel Burke, you got Iggy, you got Hancock, you got Lathan Ransom, you got Caleb Downs.
Jermaine Matthews.
You got Jermaine Matthews. I mean, dude, even just that list is kind of wildly ridiculous, but out of that list, I feel like there's a pretty obvious one to pick, but again, I feel like you can make some arguments here to make this a little bit harder than we actually think. I mean, I think the first thought that comes to your head is an easy one to answer, but if you dive into this season and the impact that some of these players had is pretty crazy, but we're seeing a lot of downs.
I think it was pretty unanimous.
That is so rude, man.
It wasn't Iggy. Okay, gotcha. Downs.
Now we know who it wasn't.
I think Tamar's a little bit behind, but she says Trey Henderson was the best defensive back that we had. Interesting take. No, I'm just messing with you, Tamar. Caleb Downs. Downs, defensive JJ, hands down. There we go. I was waiting for somebody. Lathan Ransom. You could argue Lathan Ransom with his huge. Gosh, the chat's moving too fast. I try to click on one and goes to the next one. Downs. So, yep, I chose Downs.
Yep.
Everybody knows why. Sean, Downs. Or who'd you pick, Sean?
Downs.
I think it was
Downs, but Ransom was a close second.
Gotcha.
Already.
All right, Tony.
I chose Downs, but the winner is obviously.
Oh yeah, shoot, my bad.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Just the best defensive player in America.
By the way, Tony, all these pictures you see of these trophies, they're not graphics. He made those trophies in real life at his house, and then he took pictures of them and put them up there. So if you guys are interested, I just keep lying.
I picked up sculpting with my broken foot. So.
Just a liar today on live air. That's not good. Yeah, Tony. So who'd you pick?
I picked Caleb Downs. I think it's far and away an easy pick. You know what I'm saying? I think he should have won the Thorpe Award. I think he should have won every award you could have gave to him this year. So, I think it's an easy pick.
Yeah, gotcha. TG?
Okay, I picked Downs for the obvious reasons. Come on, man. This guy is the best DB in all of football. You can see why Ohio State wanted him. You can see why everybody wanted this guy. He is the best safety, hands down. But I was real close to picking Lathan, too, because that dude was just such a hard hitter.
Dude, he balled out.
Yeah,
he's balling.
Yeah. Mello.
Light-skinned Ed Reed, of course, and that's why. He's the light-skinned Ed Reed. He unlocked his defense to his full potential. He allowed Sonny to go back down the linebacker, get closer to the line. He allowed us to play a different formation that no one could figure out and was confusing the heck out of elite seasoned veteran quarterbacks and elite OCs that couldn't dissect our defense. So it's pretty easy. It's like skin aka Caleb Downs, the best DB and the best defensive player in America.
Yeah, you want to know why he's the best defensive back in America and can be argued the best football player in America? Go rewatch the Rose Bowl. I mean, he just absolutely. I mean, poor Gabriel couldn't get nothing nowhere, man. So let's move on to the next one. Chat, let me hear it. The best offensive lineman. There were 9 of them that played this year. 9, and we won a national title. So got a lot to pick from here, but I think there's going to be one story overall that wins out. I mean, it's really, really hard to argue that.
I'm interested to see what the chat's going to come up with. This might not be as dry as we think.
Yeah, because, all right, we got
Seth Mikowski.
Seth McLaughlin. We got Donnie. Donnie. Yeah, everybody said it's a hard one. They all stepped up. They did. Donnie. We didn't get to see all of Seth McLaughlin. We didn't get to see all of our left tackle. We didn't get to see a lot of them. But I think you got to take that into account. Can you take that into account when you vote? It's like if a player gets injured, do you? Because durability is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So Jackson, Donnie,
when I
Seth.
Voted, I did take it into account.
Look at that.
To my vote.
Carson Hinsman. So, without further ado, our winner is boom, the freshman, Donnie Jackson, jumping up in the air over there, number 77. Look at him. Look at the picture that we chose.
Picture ever.
Hold up. No, that's the picture Tony chose. I don't want any parts of it. I had no say.
Hey, you took it down way too fast. Throw that thing back up there. The chat's got to see it. That's Donnie, man. That really is him.
That's what it is. And that's really the picture that Tony chose for Donnie.
Dude, it's a great picture, dude.
Yeah. All right, TG, give me your take. Who'd you pick? You're on mute.
Oh, you muted.
Really? Oh my goodness.
You're good now.
That sucked. Okay, well, I picked Donnie, but I was real close to picking Seth because he was really the quarterback of the offensive line until he got hurt. I actually almost picked Josh Fryer because whether we all know it or not, out of all the offensive linemen on this group, he was the most consistent.
Josh Fryer caught some strays this year, too.
Here's the funny thing. Caught strays when he shouldn't have because he wasn't the problem of the O-line. He was doing great. But I picked Donnie because of what he did this year. At left guard, moved out to left tackle, and was shutting down NFL DNs left, right, and center. Like, come on. You can't tell me that Donnie doesn't deserve it. Come on, man. For what he did, come on.
Yeah, 100%. Mello?
I obviously picked Donovan Jackson. I mean, amazing name, amazing pitcher for the trophy award ceremony. But no, seriously, the best offensive guard in America got moved to left tackle, asked to do something that was tremendously difficult and block the other team's best pass rusher, game in and game out. Elite players that he faced. He stood up to the test of time. Without Donnie, we don't win this natty. He's to me, Orlando Pace is the standard at Ohio State. He's the best lineman of all time, period. Not just Ohio State, just in general. But I think Donnie is the most important Ohio State offensive lineman of all time. Without Donnie, we don't win this natty. So that's why I gave it to him. He's the unsung hero. He helped keep all the rotations properly steady, keep them from being nervous. A couple of times he made a mistake, but it didn't cost us. So Donnie Jackson, salute to you, young man.
Yeah. John?
Let's face it, man. That guy could have brought the team down and complained, here he is, an All-American guard, and they're asking him to switch positions. If he's selfish, he could be like, nah, man, I'm not hurting my draft stock. But now what'd he do? He went over there like a real warrior does, balled out, and he's the reason we win the title, man. One of the key reasons.
Amen. Tony?
I mean, he gave up 2 sacks out of almost 500 or like 400 plus snaps of the football. Like that's like 0.05%. It's like ridiculous. Like, and he went up at the end of the year. He went up against 8 to 12 of the best defensive ends and defensive tackles in the country, and like just smoked him every time. Just got like wasn't giving up anything. Left tackle, the hardest part to play on the line, like just killed it, and like is going to go to the league and be drafted after those dudes that he just shut down, one right after another.
Yeah, I like what Blitz said. He went from stepping on McCord's foot or somebody's foot. Whose foot did he step on? Carson Hinsman's foot at the end of the Scum game to winning us a natty. And, this just goes to show you how good the offensive line did this year, because you could talk about Carson Hinsman a long time. You could talk about Austin Searveld a long time. You could talk about
Tagra Shabola.
Well, I was going to say that last because I got something to say. Luke Montgomery coming in the playoffs. That's when you're going to start playing for Ohio State and starting a game. Josh Fryer, though, I don't know. He might be like my number 2 if I had to pick one, just because of how steady he was and throughout the whole year. But Donnie Jackson is the clear-cut, obvious choice here. But the fact that you have so many storylines after that goes to show you what a wonderful job Fry did with this offensive line and how amazing the players are. And what he did with not all 5 stars. I mean, Donnie was a 5-star, but, so absolutely amazing what we did.
Dev.
Yeah.
One, I believe it wasn't just solely Donnie's fault on that trip. I think their splits weren't properly set. I think their splits were too close. So I think that's why they ended up tripping over each other. 2, Kyle McCord was late on that throw. It should have came out earlier anyway, because if he threw the ball with anticipation, that's a touchdown. We win the game. 3, this is the last part that I have. I don't remember what I was going to say now.
Well,
it was something good too. I forget what it was though.
Well, we're going on over an hour, so it's time to move on anyway. We're going to go to the best defensive lineman. Yeah, I feel like I say this in every one, but this was difficult for me too. I know that I think everybody's going to choose their last memory. You know what I mean? The soonest memory that we have of somebody, but in the same time, you still make a pretty darn good argument. But chat, defensive lineman, let's hear it, let's see it. Ryan Day's Championship Beard, thank you so much for gifting another membership. I feel like you do that every single show.
Awesome.
So heck yeah, we appreciate you. Yeah, $1.65. There you go. That's who I picked for the team MVP at the beginning of the year. But Jack Sawyer, Ty Leak. Oh wow, look at this.
Shout out to Lee.
Jack. So difficult. Yeah. Oh wow. Jack, Ty Leak, Jack. Oh wow, look at this, dude.
Captain Jack.
Everybody's picking my dude. Jack.
Lacey.
Okay, so Jack just took the lead. If we get another Ty Leak vote in the chat, we'll have a split decision. So, oh wow, look at that. Ty Leak. So there we go. Split decision. Split decision.
Wow, that's crazy. Where did it come from? That's weird.
See how difficult that is?
Now, look, yeah, we got another Ty Leak, Jack. But without further ado, we'll show you the results of the Buckeye Boys voting.
And the winner is Captain Jack.
There it is. Captain Jack Sawyer took it away, man. I mean, it's hard not to give it to him with what he did. But, again, it's interesting. Yeah, somebody put in the chat, it's interesting. Nobody said JT Tuimoloau. Well, when you're up, you look at Jack's production. You know, he just got shadowed out by what Captain Jack did. What he did as a leader for this team. He represented Ohio. He represented what it means to be a Buckeye man. But, you know, Tyleek Williams, defensive tackles don't get a lot of attention, but what he did this year, we're going to miss the crap out of him. I'll tell you that right now. But, Mello.
So, I picked Tyleek Williams on this. I just thought he was...
I did too. Who counted the votes?
You picked Tyleek too?
Yeah. Did I?
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
I didn't. I don't know.
I picked Tyleek. I thought you picked Jack, but you
I don't know.
But I picked Tyleek. I thought he just did everything. He was a great run stopper. He played on a sprained ankle since Penn State game. So, I mean, that's why I went with him.
Yeah. Amen. Tony?
I went with Jack here, but I did actually pick JTT for a different category later on. But yeah, I think Jack, just like from the time of the Michigan flag planting through the end of the season, was just that guy. And like, recency bias being what it is, like he stood up and was like the mouthpiece for this whole recruiting class to say, like, screw everybody else, we did this. We became legends right now. So
yeah, amen. Troy, don't worry, we're getting to that. Or did we already do that? No, we didn't do that yet. No, we're getting to that. Don't worry. Sean.
I picked Jack. I think he was the most consistent, and I don't think Tyreek. There was a couple games where he wasn't as consistent as Jack, but I don't blame that on Tyreek. I blame that on the rotation because the dude's 300 and some pounds and was playing way too many snaps, in my opinion. So
he was also injured since the Penn State game, for people that didn't know that. So,
but he had a hell of a season too. He could either one of them. I mean,
yeah, yep. TG.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did not pick Tyreek or Jack. I actually picked JT.
Okay.
That's different.
Yeah,
let us have
I love JT.
Love
I love what he did throughout the season too. Not to say I didn't love Jack either, but I had Jack for like a different category. And I want to pick up best D lineman. I said, okay, let me go with JT because I struggled to pick between Tyreek and JT, to be honest, and Jack. I love them guys.
Yeah. Goes to show you how loaded we are. I mean, it's pretty much been every position group that people can, you know what I mean, minus QB, but that's a pretty obvious one there. All right. So the next one, Tony, I need you to explain to our listeners what the Cujo Award is.
Yes.
So the Cujo is essentially our Heisman. You know what I'm saying? Is the best player that embodies, everything from off the field to on the field to just everything, being the best player that they can be. And you know what I'm saying? This one I think was tough. Actually, just looking through the last thing, there's some different choices that got made here. It was really tough for me to pick just one person. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of answers we all put multiple things on, and we all had to like decide not to.
Yeah.
So I think the Cujo is the Buckeye boys Heisman essentially. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully later on in future award shows, it's going to expand out and we'll do more. So
hey, look at this. They want Cujo doing the Heisman pose for the trophy, but we'll get to that in a minute. So chat, if you had to fire 21 players on this last Natty team, who's the last one you fire, and who's the player that you're going to build a team around, man? So here we go. We got in the chat. Let's see, where are we starting here? We got Will Howard is the Cujo. We got Jack for the Cujo. And we got JJ Smith for the Cujo. We got Jack. We got Will Howard. We got JJ Smith. We got Will Howard, Cody Simon, Ty. Wow. Will, JJ. Dang, it's close, man. I think Will's winning right now. There's 2 for Will. I think it would go Will, Jack, or JJ as far as it goes for the chat voting. But without further ado, here on the Buckeye Boys, we counted our votes up, and we chose
for the Cujo one, William Howard.
Boom. Will Howard.
Look at that trophy. Look at Cujo.
Look at that thing, bro.
Cujo. Don't come over here messing with the Buckeye boys.
Nah, bro. You don't play, man. Look at that. That trophy is fire for real.
It really is.
That is an awesome trophy.
Hey, we need that, Tony. We need that like cut out so we can put that up in the corner of the screen every once in a while, or just pop it up whenever we want. Just that on its own, but. I think I've already said what I wanted to say about Will Howard. We all know why we picked him, but we can get that off there now. And anybody got anything extra to add why we chose Will Howard for the Buckeye Boys Cujo Award?
I'll just say
JJ.
I'll just say I picked Will because I don't think we win the Natty without him.
I agree. Anybody else? Who didn't pick Will? Anybody got an argument with
JJ? I'm actually looking right now.
You did pick JJ Mello.
I picked Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
The reason being that was the number one target when it was time, crunch time. It was go-to time. It was call 4, throw it to 4. He's going to bail you out, and he did it time and time again, over and over again throughout the entire season. And it was just impressive for an 18-year-old to be able to do that, even though I knew he would do that. So I picked Optimus.
Yeah, nice. All right, our next award, we got Mr. Buckeye, right? I'm assuming this is the player that just embodies being a Buckeye, the best out of all the players on the team.
Yep.
Chat, throw us your answers real fast. Pretty sure I know everybody's answer. I feel like this is a pretty
It should have
easy
been
one.
unanimous for us, right?
Yeah, I think
Steely.
so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. But we got Buck 65. Cody wore the Blocko. Yeah, that makes sense. But here we go. Jack. Ooh, Cody. Jack. Without further ado, here on the Buckeye Boys, we chose
Jack Sawyer.
Captain
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer. Right.
Unanimously.
He won the award when he ripped the flag away from Scum. That's when he won it.
100%.
That's
Absolutely.
it. He gets it there. He gets it there. Did anybody pick somebody else here?
No.
No.
Nope. I think it was absolutely unanimous for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Captain
I think
Jack,
it's
man.
self-explanatory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No
Yeah.
doubt. All right. We're kind of moving a little bit faster here. We're going about an hour 16 in. So we're going to go most energetic player on the team. Who brought the most energy to the field, chat? What was a player that you always saw bringing a bunch of energy when he made a play, when he didn't make a play? I honestly forget who I voted for, but I know who's on the top of my mind now, and it's not who won the award. But we'll see what the chat has to pick here. Iggy, Trey, Iggy, Will Howard, Iggy or Q.
I
Hey,
know
look
who
at
you
that.
picked. Do you want me to tell you?
I know
I
you
picked?
picked too.
You picked Sonny.
No, he picked Iggy.
I picked Iggy.
I'm looking at it right now.
I have too.
There's no way I picked Sonny Styles for most energetic. He's the least energetic on the team.
No, TG picked.
TG
Sonny
picked
Styles.
Sonny
I picked
Styles.
Yeah, I
Ransom.
did.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
also
says
picked Lathan
TG's
Ransom.
under it, but you
Yeah.
texted, yeah.
Hey,
All right.
TG, you picked Sonny. I picked Iggy. Tony, who'd you pick?
Lathan Ransom.
Lathan Ransom. Sean, who'd you pick?
Ransom.
Mello, who'd you pick?
Iggy.
Well, then I must have done it wrong. We had a tie. But anyway, without further ado, here on the Buckeye Boys, the award goes to
Silent Assassin. Lathan Ransom.
Lathan Ransom. Gets it. I think he got the little bit of a bump there because of the hits he put on. So he broke 2 helmets. How do you not give the player that just kept breaking people's helmets on the field? But I picked Iggy, dude. But that could go either way. If you
Hold on,
ask
Tony,
me.
did I pick Iggy?
Hold on. Let me see.
I don't know if I picked anybody for that.
You didn't. That's right.
You didn't. Yeah, no, you didn't.
That's why Ransom got it. So anyway,
Yep.
Ransom wins the award. TG, I got to know why you picked TG's bouncing out. She's out of here. She gone.
Who did she pick?
Sonny Styles.
She picked Sonny Styles.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know why she did.
There you go.
Let's hear it, TG. Why'd you pick Sonny Styles for most energetic?
Okay, so why I picked him was whenever he did make a play, he did seem like super energetic. He brought a lot of energy when he was playing, especially at his best. I think that we do underrate how energetic Sonny can be. Yeah, he may not be the most talkative guy, but he can be energetic and lay the hits when he needs to. So I always saw him do that, especially in the Natty. In the Natty, that dude was laying some freaking hits. I'm like, thank you, Sonny. This what I love seeing from you. This is his best game by far. And this
Yeah.
guy's done nothing but done that.
Yeah.
When
No.
Stark was crying for targeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Especially
can ma-
Texas game, that was funny.
Yeah, you can make arguments for several different players, but the next one we got, which player are you, as a fan, going to miss the most? So obviously we got to vote for a player that's leaving. Who you going to miss the most? Who's going to win this one? I guess we'll wait for the chat for a second. Dude, it's getting hard for me to remember who I voted for on all these things. I know who's popping in my mind right now, right? I
can
agree
always
with
look
this.
back.
I think Sonny is going to be the Blocko next year. Who do you guys think is going to be the Blocko?
Sonny.
No, we got Yeah, we got Will Howard's most missed. Will Howard, Jack.
Oh,
Will Howard, Will and Jack, Trey,
you voted
Jack,
for Will. Devin.
E. Did I? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard, man, to not
Did we all
considering.
vote Will?
I think so. I mean,
No.
No.
Well,
TG put somebody else.
anyway, without further ado, here on the Buckeye Boys,
We went with where's it?
we went with, I believe it's
William
Will
Howard.
Howard. And I think we've all
That's
explained
obvious.
why, but for those people that did not vote for Will Howard, please explain yourself.
That's TG.
Obviously, I
It's
voted
like
for
shit.
Jack.
TG, explain yourself again.
I voted for Jack. I mean, I know I'm gonna. miss him.
Yeah. No,
Come
you
on,
can't.
man. Like
you can't argue with
he
that.
represents everything you want. Like, I mean, I know Will does too, but Jack was born and bred to be a Buckeye. He lived it. He embodied it. Him ripping down the flag from scum did it for me, especially. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that guy because he brought so much leadership, passion, and fire to this Buckeye team. Having a guy like that who's from Ohio, who knows the rivalry, who gets it, who understands it being a Buckeye, just from his years wanting to be here, you're gonna miss that a lot. Without it, where would the defense be? Especially without his leadership.
No, you can't argue with anything you said. You know what I mean? He's going to be missed. That was a hard award to vote for. I love Will Howard. I mean, in terms of winning games and winning a natty, obviously I voted for Will Howard for whatever the other awards.
Well,
He's
they
won a
kept the
lot.
team together.
I do too, but it's like
He's won a lot of them, but it's a
I
very
do
good
too.
pick, TG.
I
Yep.
do too. I'm gonna miss Will too, but it's like, man, you can't replace what Jack, his passion for this. You can't replace
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. By the way, if you're in the chat and your answers are different than the winners of our awards, it doesn't mean you're wrong, okay? So we're not about right or wrong here. It's just we're just doing this, a little bit of entertainment, little fun, going back and forth, trying to figure out who these are. But kind of a different kind of award next. I want to hear you guys. Who are you looking forward to watching play next year the most on the Buckeyes? The most anticipated Buckeye award. Who do you pick in the chat? And after this one, they got one more. We'll wrap it up. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us for so long. Without a doubt, you guys are true Buckeye boys there in the chat. Been a long show, and most of you guys went right from Scoop to here, so you've been on YouTube for a while.
Hopefully next year too we can involve like fan votes, or we'll get more people involved.
We will, yeah, we 100% will. Next year, if you watch the Buckeye Boys, we're going to be putting out, the polls on Twitter. We're going to start right after the last game of the season. We'll start getting all our votes together in chats and whatnot. But we got saying, Edric Houston, saying, James Peoples, saying, Julian saying. Well, without further ado, here on the Buckeye Boys, the winner of the most anticipated award goes to...
What you saying?
You guessed her right. Julian saying. I think he, in most Buckeye fans' mind, he's about 5'5", 120.
12 years old.
Want you to know. He's not, okay? I think he's like 6'1", okay? About 213 pounds right now. He's going to put on a little weight. So I'm excited. Our season, if you ask me, every single position group, we have the talent. We have the ability to go do what we did this year, and that's win a national title. Might look a little bit different, but what's Julian saying going to look like? Question of the year. I will remind you, I was going to save this for another show, but I just want to remind people that he lost his black stripe faster than any other freshman quarterback in Ohio State history.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else to tell you there.
KJ, but.
Yeah, so anybody else? So who did not vote for Julian Saying on this panel? TG, why did you not vote for Julian Saying? No, I'm just messing with you. Just assuming.
I'm about to say, hold on. I thought it was
I think this one was unanimous.
I think it was unanimous. It was unanimous. Okay. All right. Cool. That's good stuff. All right. Here we go. I am interested to see what people's picks are here. I always say it. I feel like there's an obvious one, but I don't know. Who you going to give the coach of the year to? You got to give it to Tony.
That's not obvious. I think this one is kind of difficult.
Yeah. I picked Tony Alfred, but
Nick
then I
Saban.
remembered he's not on the team anymore. So
That's
they
a
wouldn't
good choice. That's a good choice.
They
for-
wouldn't let me.
I mean, it is. I mean, think about it. He's
They
coach
would.
of the year. Someone said it in the chat. Tony
I know
Alford
they
is coach
did,
of
yeah.
the year just for leaving.
Yeah, gave us Coach Locke, baby. Coach Locke.
Yes.
All right, we got a Ryan Day vote. by Tyler. This is the last vote, everybody, so everybody must participate. Burks, if you're going to be in the chat, you will participate or you'll be booted. Participate.
Yeah, when I
Who's
read
the coach of the Who's the Ohio State coach of the year, Burks? No, Burks, I'm just playing with you. But you should vote, though. Seriously. Ryan, freaking day.
So.
Huh?
I read your answer and I laughed out loud. Like,
isn't that wild?
he said,
Coach Fry, baby.
No way, dude.
Coach Fry, baby.
I thought you were trolling me.
No, man, I was serious. I did not pick what everybody's going to pick. Ryan Day, Chip, Ryan Day, Chip, Day, clear as day, CEO, Ryan Day. Here on the Buckeye Boys, the Coach of the Year award goes to none other than Night and Day himself.
The man.
Ryan dye the beard black Day. Coach Day,
Hold
definitely.
up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I was saying that in my head. Go.
See, dude, we've been on here too long, bro. It's too long, man. Too long. But I'll just tell you straight up the rep, I vote for Coach Fry. I don't know if that was a little bit of a guilt that I had for giving him such a hard time and wanting him fired or whatnot. I might have guilt tripped myself into voting for that. But to be honest with you, sitting right here in this moment, I'm still voting for Coach Fry. I don't just with what he did, with what he had. I mean, Ryan Day had talent, and talented coaches. He had everything he needed. There wasn't anything. Coach Fry had to do it with stuff that, was kind of unheard of. You go 9 deep in an offensive line. Ryan Day had Chip Kelly. He had Jim Knowles. He had James Laurinaitis. He had Brian Hartline. He had the support staff around him. He had a bunch of 5 and 4 stars. I'm not saying what he didn't. I'm not sitting here degrading what Ryan Day did. I'm just saying, honestly, my vote is still Justin Fry because I think he did more with less. Ryan Day did more with a hell of a lot more, which hell of a job. Most coaches cannot do what he did. So nobody clip this and say Devin doesn't like Ryan Day. I think he's the best coach in college football. But my vote for this year in particular is Justin Fry.
Yep.
I can understand that.
I'd say Ryan Day just because after they lost that game to Michigan, the team could have went into crapper, and he pulled those kids together, and he got that thing going in the right direction. That could have been the biggest collapse in the history of, the program.
He turned the entire narrative about himself on its head in 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But
yeah.
There's one more category that I forgot. I somehow, in the craziness of organizing all this stuff, I don't know where the thumbnail ended up, but it's the most underrated.
I thought
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Forgot about that.
I know the winner, right? Chat, sorry, one more.
Real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
Ryan Day is the best coach in America, point blank, period. He's going to be here for another, I'll say 5 years, 5 to 6 years. By the time he leaves, he will be considered right behind Nick Saban, GOAT status. If he stays to surpass 7 rings, he'll pass Nick Saban. I watched UGA podcasters complain about how their season was ruined because they had 2 injuries on the O-line. And I'm like, give me a break. You're supposed to be the gurus of picking the O-line and respectable with it and recruiting. I'm sorry, but Devin, that's another nod towards Coach Fry and what he did and the job he did. But we had, like Ryan Day said, we had the best coaching staff in the entire country in America, and it proves. And to me, Ryan Day is the best coach in college football, period. And I'll go argue with your mama. I'll stand on that.
Hey,
I agree with
Bryce
that.
Underwood isn't even going to be at Michigan anymore, so keep talking, buddy.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah,
not to mention, he's going to want to leave when those sanctions hit. But I also want to touch on Ryan Day real quick. Think about the type of stuff we figured out what was going on behind the scenes with the Ohio State coaching staff. All the turmoil going on between him, Larry, and Jim Knowles. He managed to pull that together for them to go on this run on top of all the other type of adversity they've gone through. And when you listen to the players, they talk about how Ryan Day's leadership, his toughness, and how he's been able to handle adversity, take it on the jaw, handle it, fight through it, and go through it is what makes them do the same thing for their coach. Because they're like, hey, if he can handle going through all of that, there's no excuse for us not to do it. So So that's the biggest reason why I would choose Ryan Day, just for that. And Dev,
I
I get
love
your
it.
point with Fry.
Yeah.
I get your point with Fry because, first of all, Georgia, I don't want to hear the excuses. If Ohio State had 3 offensive line injuries and still managed to put on a dominant offensive line performance in the playoffs and still managed to win the Natty, I don't want to hear no excuses from y'all because we had to deal with 3 injuries on the O-line.
Yeah.
So no
I know.
excuses.
I love that point about Ryan Day. Like I said, there's nobody right or wrong here. That's just where my passion is with Fry. But that does not, just because I chose Fry, doesn't mean I'm degrading Day in any type of way. Absolutely phenomenal. But chat, I think you heard us. Most underrated player of the year. Now that I think about it, it's a hard one. I know who I voted for, and I'm confident in my vote still and who I picked. But
I voted
Troy,
for the winner.
Troy, oh, did you? Troy answered Ty Hamilton. So Karras got Carson Hinsman. So chat, I need a few more votes in here.
I don't remember who I voted for. I'm not even going to lie.
I do.
I don't think you did. I think you skipped that one too.
No, 'cause this one was an added-on category that Devin added on after you had voted, Mello, and you never caught back up.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You never did see my additional things. Oh, I guess you didn't. Okay, well, who's your vote, Mello?
Man,
Most
this is hard, bro.
Yeah,
It's definitely
right on.
That's why I'm like, I don't think
Very
I
hard.
voted on this.
So we got Luke, Hancock, Ransom, Iggy, Hamilton, Hancock, Luke, Hancock, Hinsman. Dang, bro, this is hard.
No, I think I
know.
did vote. I remember now. I
Okay,
know
who'd you
who I
vote
picked.
for?
Who'd you vote
I
for?
picked Carnell Tate.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh,
a,
yeah, dude. Is that
that's
who I
a
picked?
good one.
I don't even know who I voted for. Who'd I vote for?
I'm pretty
Tony?
sure Carter Tate, I believe.
I picked Hamilton.
I did pick Carnell Tate. Ty
I actually
Hamilton.
picked Tyreek, funny enough.
Who?
I picked Tyreek just because people
Who's that?
rarely... Tyreek
Tyreek?
Williams. Because
Ty.
people rarely...
Oh, I call him
What?
Ty. That's why I was like, dude, what is going
Yeah.
on right now?
The reason
I
I,
thought-
picked Tyreek
I
is
thought-
because...
I thought
Oh,
Tyreek.
oh, that's his real name. That's his full name.
I thought Tyreek Hill played in the NFL, but I don't know.
No. No, but I picked Tyreek just because, like, he rarely, if ever, got talked about. People will always talk about how he wasn't doing anything in games. And you always have to tell these people,
Yeah.
go watch the film.
Oh,
Well,
no,
without further ado, the winner of this award here on the Buckeye Boys, Tony, you guess you just gotta tell him. You didn't upload the
It
thing.
is Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate won the award here. There we go. There we go. There we go. But, bro, Carnell Tate, Josh Fryer, and Ty Hamilton,
Carson
big
Hinsman,
time.
too.
Carson Hinsman, Luke
I went with
Montgomery.
Only because people never pick him for anything. Yet he was the sack leader. He played amazing, like during the playoffs. Like it just got overshadowed by a lot of things. But he was the sack leader for the whole season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of players you can fit. Breaking news here in the Buckeye Boys: Bryce Underwood is transferring from Scum. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
Shocker.
it's breaking news here in the Buckeye Boys.
We're breaking it first.
Yep, not saying it's going to be this year, but sometime in the future. Breaking news:
Burks, what do you know?
Bryce
You're from
Underwood
Canada, bro.
is
Oh, please,
transferring,
in 6 months, he'll probably transfer.
and not playing.
In 6
At,
months, he'll probably transfer.
Yeah. All righty. Final
wrap.
thoughts, final words. Mello, give us your final thoughts, final words.
Drop the hammer, Mello.
It's going to be a sledgehammer that's coming from them, but I don't have the hammer. I think it's we did a great show. I think this was fun. I think the audience was fully engaged. Thank you for showing up, supporting, showing out. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all the above, and we appreciate you. Go Bucks. We're about to win another natty back to back.
Yep. Amen, Tony.
All I gotta say is the same thing I've been saying. Belt, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep,
You know what it is.
Yep, this is super
Sean.
fun.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for coming and supporting us, and this has been a fun show. And go Buckeyes!
Amen. TG.
All I got to say is it's been a great show. I'm going to miss this team, but I'm looking forward to next year's team. And I think we can go back to back if things go right, I'll say.
Yeah.
So, but all I got to say is go Buckeyes.
Amen. Yeah, Ryan Day. Often having to hire some new staff members. I love every addition he's made so far. Brian Hartline, the offensive coordinator. Who's the quarterback coach? Billy Fessler.
Yeah.
Billy F. Quarterback coach. Tyler Bowen is what his name.
Yep.
Tyler
The
Bowen.
guy you predicted, Devin,
Yeah.
remember?
Oh,
The guy you predicted.
Yep.
Oh, you predicted him, Devin?
Yep,
did.
I sure did. I've been
Oh.
Hold
talking
up,
about
TG, where were
Tyler.
you at?
I've been
Yeah,
talking about
beginning of the
Tyler
season,
for
he called it,
months
actually.
now. If you watch Buckeye Boys, you know I've been talking about Tyler Bowman. But anyway, I also just now thought of this. What we're going to do about a week before the season starts is we're going to go get predictions on who's going to win these awards at the end of the thing. So we'll chat. We'll allow you guys to vote as well, and we're going to vote and see who we think is going to be the best wide receiver, who's going to be the best linebacker, who's going to be the best what. I think that'll be pretty cool. Vote
Yeah.
for it, see who it's going to be, and then we'll see who the winners are at the end of the year.
Great idea.
But please don't forget to like this show, comment below. Appreciate everybody that super chatted, man. It's going to amazing. It's going to go to help a lot of people. Like I said, this is a fan channel, okay? So we want to be able to give away tickets. We want to be able to give away merchandise, signed, whatever, all that stuff. This channel is for you guys. Money that's made on this channel, believe me if you want to believe me, but it's not going in our pockets, man. It's going to go back in the channel, man. We're going to be giving it back to the fans and making this channel just a place Buckeyes can come and just have a darn good time, man. So we love you guys. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow, tune in, man. Me and Sean going to do a pretty big interview with somebody tomorrow. It's going to be really fun. If you don't like Scum and you want to hear some information on what the heck's about to go down with them not winners there, tune in tomorrow for the interview.
Do you
We're
want
gonna
to
have
tell
some-
them who it is? I mean,
good
I don't think
stuff.
anybody could steal our idea at this point. It might be a little late. for
No,
them to
Sean,
do it.
let them know who's coming on.
Justin Sparrow.
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
if you watch him come
love
on,
listening to him.
Scoop, he knows everything about what's going on there. Everything.
Everything,
Yeah,
everything.
he literally knows everything. So it's going to be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, we appreciate everybody. We love you guys, your family. Go Buckeyes. OH.
I
Ayo.
Oh.